Welcome to Driveway Garage. Today I'm going to try to finish putting the back three spark plugs in a 2009 Chevy Malibu with the 3.6 liter V6. They're a little tough, but I think I can do it. I'll flip this around. I made another video of doing the front ones. They're really easy. Let me flip. You see the light on my head? I'll turn that on. I really like this light. I'll say it again because you can really see what you're doing, but these three coils right here are easy to get to. Now, the problem I had was my spark plug socket kept coming off after I tightened the new spark plugs in. So I ended up having to take a pair of needle nose pliers, reach down in there and pull it out because it would stick. Because it's got a rubber gasket on it, which holds the spark plug in, but made it harder to get the socket back out. So back here, I unplugged this solenoid, whatever it is, I'm not even sure. I took the electrical connector out. What I did is I took a flat screwdriver and I reached right into that, well, that lip right there. Pried it just a little bit and that pulled right out. Now I'm going to take this bolt out. I think it's a 10 millimeter. Then I can get this up out of my way. I think I'm going to take some pliers, take this gasket or clamp off, get this hose out of the way, and then I'll have a fairly good chance of reaching back in there and getting those spark plugs out. I'm not going to try to film it because the camera will be right in my way and it'd just be tough, but at least I'll show you what I'm doing step by step. Oh, I decided to start on the hardest one first. You can see my ratchet back in there. I had to put a 3-inch extension on it. And there's just enough room to loosen that bolt, 10 millimeters, holding that spark plug or that coil in. There are some sharp pieces of metal like right here, so be careful putting your hand in and out. As you can see, I already snagged myself once, but I've noticed as I got older, my skin is a little thinner and it cuts easier, so depending on your age, you gotta be careful because that edge is kind of sharp right there. A guy could put a piece of masking tape on it, I guess. Might protect yourself. So I'll get that first one out. I'm just going to do these one at a time and see how it goes. I think my challenge is going to be getting the new spark plug in and then getting the socket back off of it, because on the front ones I had to use needle nose pliers. I don't know if I can get needle nose pliers back in there. Maybe I can. Well, it's like a jigsaw puzzle back here. I took this bracket off, that 10 millimeter bolt, and then I took, get this lighting right, I took this nut off of here so I could get this up out of the way, because in the back there, these electrical wires and stuff are laying right on top of the coil. So now I can get this stuff pushed up, I think. Enough I can get that coil out of there. I tell you, it's a booger, but little by little, you just have to have patience, I guess. Well, I got the first coil out. There it is. It's kind of a booger. It sits in there like this. You got to get the bolt out. That's not too bad. Then you got to get it up past those other wires and cables and hoses back there. And when you get it up, you kind of got to turn it sideways and start sliding it out, twisting it. It'll come out of there. I thought about just putting it back in there and leaving it and getting the spark plug out without pulling the coil out, but I decided, what the heck, I'll pull it out. So now the fun part. I'm going to see if I can get a 3-inch extension and my spark plug wrench, our socket stuff back in there. Let's see how this goes. Okay, in order to get that spark plug out, you're going to have two 3-inch extensions or a 6-inch, because you put that down in there with a 3-inch extension, it disappears. You won't be able to get your ratchet on there, so be prepared. Well, I got the spark plugs in, and I'm telling you what, it's tempting to hire somebody to do it. It is a real pain. The worst one, of course, was the one over there closest to the driver's side. There's just no room. I ended up taking the nut off of here to get these pipes loose. I took the bolt out of here so I could get some room behind those pipes. And then I was having a hard time getting the right combination of extensions to go down in there. 3-inch was too short, 6-inch worked. While I was messing around trying to get the right extension, I forgot to put the spark plug socket back on. And I thought it was down in the hole because sometimes they fall off. And I tried to hook up to it. Finally, I took a picture of it with my camera, which was a booger. And I found out there's just a spark plug in there. And I looked on the, laying over here where the grease spot is, because 3 of my spark plugs have oil on them. So it needs a valve cover gasket, which I'm not going to attempt it right now. Anyway, long story short, I fought and fought. And you get it in there, and then it's hard to get your sockets out. And as you can see by my hand, there's all kinds of sharp pieces of metal down in there. But the other two, they were pretty easy, relatively speaking. I ended up on the last one getting my 3/8 inch, what is this, chemo? It's on a 90-degree angle. So if you have one of these, you got room to get in there. It sure saves a lot of ratcheting back and forth. I had to use different extensions, a 1/4 inch driver, 3/8 inch driver. On these coil clips, I ended up pushing it with my finger, and I took a long screwdriver and pushed it back and forth until it popped off, because there's no room to get your hand in there and squeeze it and pull. It was a booger, I'm telling you. That first one took me a long time, over an hour, hour and a half anyway, just trying to get everything situated and out of the way, and then trying to feed the coil back in. It's got to go on one side of this, and then there's another pipe down there that lays right on top of the coil. You got to get it behind there. Eventually, it's this piece of wire right here. Eventually, I got it in there, and everything's hooked back up. I got the nut on there, the bolt in there. All my coils are in. That middle coil did not want to just snap into place. I got it as close as I could, and I put the bolt in and pulled it down with the bolt. But I'm telling you, people that design these motors don't work on them. I can guarantee you that. There's got to be some way. I know I worked on a 3.8 one time, and it V6 like this, but it had a motor mount right up here. So if you take the motor mount loose and take a strap, you could pull the motor forward. You're kind of twisting the motor like that, just enough you can get your hands back in there, because on that one, the 3rd spark plug was clear back in here, and it was a bugger. In fact, I did one Buick, and it only got 5 spark plugs because I could not get the 6th spark plug out. And it wasn't running bad. I just wanted to tune it up, but I gave up. Well, next thing I'm going to do, I don't know if I'll do it today. Maybe I will. I'll go drive it around and then change the oil. It says it's not due for a while, but it's kind of black. I'm going to resell the car, so I'm going to change the oil. I checked the air filter. It's clean. It's got a... Oh, I was thinking it said... Yeah, anyway. Fairly new battery. Over a year old, 1020. That's good. And as I mentioned in the other video, shiny bolts means somebody put in new shocks, so that's probably why it drives so nice down the highway. Well, I'm going to start it up. Hope it runs good. Then Friday, my new hood strut will come in. I'll put that on. If you've never replaced those, they're pretty easy. Take a little screwdriver and pop this clamp off of here, and then it just comes off. Same thing on the bottom. Sometimes you can just take your hand on the bottom, hit it here hard, and it'll pop right off that little bracket. Then put a new one on, then your hood will stay up. Thanks for watching, guys. Good luck to you if you're going to try to change your spark plugs. Like I said, those 3 front ones are easy. They're right there. But the back ones, they are a son of a gun. But hopefully it starts and runs now. If not, I'll be making another video, I guess. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it.